Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Also leave a comment down below. It really does help the channel if you guys do so. So today, I have another disassembly video for you guys. And to be honest with you, I feel like I could probably work at the TRM assembly factory here because I have had to take this knife apart more than 3 times now. Not to their fault, my own fault. I was trying to make a video, guys, for you. And this is actually the 3rd take. The first time, I was having a little bit of issues going on. Second time, filmed the video in landscape mode, or yeah, up and down instead of side to side. So here we go again. And last time, it was 9 minutes in before I realized what I was going on. So let's go ahead and start here. All the tools that I actually have are going to be linked down in the description below. They are, pretty affordable, and they're pretty high quality, at least I think so. So this should be a pretty easy undertaking here. Hope so. It's not too bad. So let's go ahead and take these front 2 body screws out here. They're going to be T6s. And that's another really cool thing about TRM knives. They're easily accessible and easy scale swappability. So you pop those 2 out, and there comes your scale off just like so. Let's pop the front side off. I guess it'd be the non-show, or the actual non-show side. We have 1 body screw there. And then we have 2 clip screws. Make sure you guys are keeping track of what screws go where, because there's 3 different length screws on this actual knife. Alright, so there's our body clip screws. At least I think there's 3 different sizes. Alright, and our other scale is going to come off just like so, like that. This knife does have titanium liners, so that is really awesome. Love that. Okay, and so there's our naked TRM atom. We have 3 barrel spacers back here in the back. That is going to be one thing we need to keep an eye on when we are going to be putting this thing back together. These are going to be the trickiest part here. So let's go ahead and loosen up these body screws. Like so. Probably just go ahead and take them all out of there if we can. See, they just kind of jump out at you. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to our, we'll get that last one here. We take our pivot screw out, move over to our T10. So it's pretty simple, small amount of tools, only a T10 and T6. Get in our pivot there, go ahead and take our pivot out. We do have a washer here in the actual pivot screw. So that's the first time I've actually seen that one before. Alright. So let's go ahead and I think everything pops right apart here. There's our 3rd barrel spacer. And our 3, I guess, barrel spacer hardwares, you could say. Alright, so now we have stop pin, 2 titanium liners, we have 2 phosphor bronze washers, and of course the blade itself. So not too much going on here with this knife. Pretty straightforward here. One thing that TRM tries to stress to people is to not over oil these knives. That is one thing they actually get a lot of warranty claims for, is people over oil their knives, and it kind of makes their action a little bit sticky, I guess you could say. Alright, now there isn't too much more we can take apart here. We do have a stop pin right there. Let's go ahead and start reassembly here. Go ahead and say this is pretty much a brand new knife. I had to send it in for a little bit of maintenance. I had a lockup issue that they resolved, no questions asked. Alright, so there's one there. Let's go ahead and throw our washer on. Let's just use 1 little drop of knife pivot lube on there, some KPL, like so. Alright, throw our blade in. Always important. Alright, throw our other washer on. Okay. Then let's see if we can get our scale in here, line up with our D-shaped captive pivot and our stop pin, which sometimes is easier said than done. I guess this is the trickiest part, is getting that darn pivot screw, not pivot screw, but the actual pivot itself. Let's see if we can pop this stop pin out. So you don't want to come out of there when the blade's in. Oop, there it went right there. Alright. Now our blade's kind of free floating in there. We can try to get this There we go. I wonder if we can, see if we can just wonder here. We can run our pivot screw in just a fuzz. Then try to put our stop pin in. See if we can just release the blade just a little bit. This might be a unorthodox way of doing things here, but if it works, it works. All right. So we got everything pretty well squared away there. We got our pivot back installed. We got our stop pin back in there. All right, let's go ahead and focus on these barrel spacers. These things are just a little bit tricky. To get them lined up in there just perfectly, kind of got to use a couple little, use your imagination, I guess you could say. So slide that one in. Go ahead and drop our screw in. Since they are only mounted from one side, well, hardware doesn't go into both sides. It's kind of a little bit of a challenge just to get them lined up just right. We're not going to go crazy tight on it. Just go ahead and drop one in. Oh, see, then they slide right back out the back of it. All right, kind of just fish it on through like so. Pop our other T6 in there. Just get them started so it don't come out. Third and final one. It's almost like I've done this before. Only the third time today. Third time's a charm, right? Okay. Maybe. We can kind of just align it with our other driver, like so. All right, now we can go ahead and snug these down. Close up the knife. Let's check our centering here. That's another awesome thing about this knife. You can get everything checked out before you actually go for final assembly here. Just tighten them up a little more, see if we can walk that blade over to center. Perfect. Open it up and down, no side to side. Stop pin looks good, feels good. Perfect. Blade centering still on point. All right, now here comes the easy part of putting our scales back on here. All right, start with our show side. Put our T6 back in. All right, we don't have to crank these down like crazy. Make sure I got those body screws or those barrel spacers tightened up good. Might have overlooked that one just a little bit. They're snug down nice and good. Okay, now they can't come out anyway because of the screws being hidden, but still like to make sure if you ever need to double check, just double check. All right, there's one. These are tiny little screws, easy to lose. All right, there's two. Throw our clip side scale on. We got our one body screw there. All right, now we got our clip here. This one's a little finicky to put in, at least for me. Fingers don't like to work too well. There we go. Always like to do a revert one little backwards thread when you're putting these T6s in. Just make sure you're not cross-threading anything. That'd be a bad day. Okay. It's like every time I did this, it got a little easier. Okay, so let's see. Action. Great. Solid lockup. No side to side, no up and down. Got just a little bit. Let's walk it back on over. Just a fuzz. So we can move them over just a little bit. Like so. Great action. No side to side. Good lockup. All right, maybe just one little bit more. All right, and that is how you disassemble and maintain your TRM atom. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description below, or the comment section below. And like always, thank you.